Hi, I'm Kerrie Romanow. I'm with the City of San Jose. I have the pleasure of being our Chief Sustainability Officer and Director of the Environmental Services Department. I'm happy to share with you today some of the climate work we're doing and some of our perspectives on how we can all collaborate together to change the course of climate change globally. So what we're going to talk about today, I'll talk a little briefly about San Jose, a little bit about what our Environmental and Services Department includes. We're going to talk a lot about Climate Smart San Jose, and then share some examples for energy and water and wastewater in terms of what we're doing for our climate work. So San Jose, if you haven't been to San Jose, I highly encourage it. We are the 10th largest city in the United States, capital of Silicon Valley. And if you're familiar with Silicon Valley, you know that we believe in innovation and sustainability and being pioneers and leaders in that area. San Jose is also 180 square miles. So we're a big city, we're spread out, and our downtown is not quite as large as other big cities, but we think this gives us an opportunity to work with our neighborhoods. And we believe that if we can make something function productively in San Jose, that a lot of other cities of a variety of sizes would also have the opportunity to do that. Likewise, that lets us then look to what other cities are doing to see what we might learn from them. But I've been in San Jose for about 21 years, happy to call it home, encourage you to come visit if you have that opportunity. Our Environmental Services Department is one of the larger departments in the city. We include about 600 full-time employees, and we do a variety of services. We manage and run the regional wastewater facility, which serves almost all of Silicon Valley, not only San Jose, but Santa Clara and several other smaller cities that surround us. And we also run one of the larger recycled water systems, South Bay Water Recycling. We also do the garbage and recycling, both commercial and residential. We manage all of that for the city, and we do our watershed protection. And then, of course, we lead the sustainability for the city of San Jose. Our mission is to deliver world-class utility programs and services to improve our health, environment, and economy. And why that's important to us is all three of those matter. So health, environment, and economy. Our programs have to make economic sense. They have to keep our neighborhoods and our communities safe and healthy. And we have to improve our environment with virtually everything we do. So you can see in this picture, we also run a part of our drinking water system for the city. And that's one of our folks checking out leaks. And we do that, as many of you do, on a routine basis to ensure we're not wasting drinking water or recycled water. Climate Smart San Jose is a plan that was adopted by our council in 2018. So we're a little over 3 years old now, and it's aligned with the Paris Agreement. But what's really cool about Climate Smart San Jose is it's all data-based. So we looked at all the data sources of our emissions across the city. We looked at all of the opportunities to reduce those emissions. And then we put some money on it. So we said, well, what's the ROI and the ROE on these? And how can we make the best financial decisions? So how can we get the best bang for our buck, which is really our community's buck? And then with those sort of things rising to the top, we crafted a plan with 9 pillars and 3 pillars, 9 specific actions. And then all the departments in the city signed on for very specific action plans. But we also spent a lot of time with our community. And we spent a lot of time with our community to understand what they wanted us to do and which of the many ways we could reduce our carbon emissions, which of those were they most drawn to? So which are the things that they would willingly participate in? Because certainly there's a lot of options on how to improve our climate efforts. And so Climate Smart San Jose is centered around the Good Life 2.0. So it's around how do we make our residents and our businesses more productive, more satisfying, happier, increasing human-to-human engagements, and the things that they think are most meaningful to them. And so that layer really helps drive our efforts going forward. The other key part of Climate Smart San Jose is we cannot solve the climate crisis in City Hall. We just can't sit in City Hall and think we're going to do it on our own. So we partner with residents, with businesses, for-profit, nonprofits. We have nonprofit groups leading house parties at communities in both English, Vietnamese, and Spanish, so that all of our residents can participate. I did fail to mention that San Jose is divided about equally between Vietnamese speaking, English speaking, and Spanish speaking residents and ethnicity. And so we really wanted to make sure we were connecting with everyone. And so, so bringing these groups not only into the conversation, but into the actual heavy lifting and partnering together to get that done. Like many cities, we're also seeking external funders. We were a proud recipient of the Bloomberg America's Climate Cities Challenge, and very thankful for their help. With the help of Bloomberg and others, we were able to, just in the last 3 years, we started our own community energy program, San Jose Clean Energy. So now we're able to have control over the renewables and carbon mix of our power supply. We banned natural gas in new construction, and we've expanded our bike lanes by over 40%. So we're working very quickly and very productively, because we have our residents' support, but also because we looked at the numbers early on, and we were able to garner support throughout the city organization. So we don't really have a bunch of climate people in my department. We've spread them out amongst all departments, so it's become who we are. And additionally, for our council memos, as you know, that's how cities make decisions. Every council memo in our city also has a section that says, hey, how does this align with Climate Smart? Does this support those objectives, or is it a bit dilutive, and why? And that's really helped council to understand how the decisions they make each Tuesday, in our case, how they support our climate objectives and how they may not. So I mentioned we started our own energy utility, and that has been the biggest thing that we can do to improve our performance on our climate objectives. By greening our energy supply, we have a lot more ability to influence how we perform from a carbon standpoint. So now we're moving to electrify all buildings, because we need to get off of natural gas completely. A lot of San Jose was built out in the 1940s, 50s, and so we have a lot of work to do with the existing building stock. So one of the first steps we've taken is to benchmark our existing commercial buildings. And so commercial buildings are required by ordinance to submit a performance report each year, and they have a suite of options they can take to improve their performance. So we're not saying you must do this one thing. We're saying, hey, if your performance was at this level, in the next year, we need you to take these actions. But what we found is, just by having the building owners and managers sort of have to take stock in how their building's performing, they're very agreeable to moving forward on a lot of the work that the ordinance requires. And then we help out and we help them figure out solutions where it's a bit more challenging, particularly for the older buildings. I mentioned that we operate the South Bay Water Recycling System. South Bay Water Recycling has about 200 miles of purple pipe throughout the cities of Santa Clara, San Jose, and Milpitas. And we distribute about 4 billion gallons a year. So that's 4 billion gallons of potable drinking water that we didn't need to use to irrigate predominantly our landscaping, golf courses, parks, and others, but also some cooling towers, et cetera. We're really on a mission now to continue to expand that system with a real keen focus on larger parks, schools, and golf courses. So getting the biggest users we can off of drinking water and to irrigate and onto recycled water, so that as our city densifies, we can continue to irrigate those open spaces so that recreation can continue to happen. That was something that was very important to our community, that they have recreational spaces. And so part of our climate plan is to irrigate those in the most responsible way possible. We also run our wastewater facility. This is a overhead, an aerial photo of our facility. Our facility operates on about 160 acres of operational area. We own 2,600 acres around the facility. It's called the San Jose Santa Clara Regional Wastewater Facility. It is the largest advanced wastewater treatment facility in the Western United States. We are now in the midst of sort of looking at our energy usage and seeing how we can improve that at this facility as well. And we are self-powered we self-power about 75% right now. And we're looking to get to 100% in the next 5 years. So we're really looking to sort of drop the demand and increase our use and creation of renewables. But right now we do capture and use all the methane that we produce in our processing area. We also are leading a capital improvement program out at the wastewater facility. And that capital improvement program is about $2.1 billion at this point. It is the largest capital improvement program in the history of our city, one that not many, as we say, not many of our residents will see, but everyone will use. And so the challenge with this program is the wastewater facility is operating while we're rebuilding it. And so that creates some challenges, but what we're looking to do is to, again, reduce our energy usage, increase our efficiency, and reduce waste. So we'll look for every opportunity to do things like we just opened up a cogeneration facility and using that to power ourselves, and then looking to ensure that we're automating as much as we can so that we're not wasting water, we're not adding oxygen, as an example, to processing when we don't need to. So a lot of things going on at the same time, as I'm sure is happening across the country, as many of these facilities were built in the 1950s. And so, every city is in a similar position, I would imagine. This facility has operated nonstop since 1955. So with that, I'm happy to entertain anyone who wants to come to San Jose. I'm not going to put you up at my house, but happy to give you a tour if you do come to our city. And we would love to hear from other folks around what you're doing for climate. And if there's an opportunity to partner, definitely consider San Jose as a willing partner, an active partner as we go forward.